Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. Let's start today from the mat and then work our way up before we end the session. So first of all, let's sit in an easy posture. Keep your back straight. Remember to tilt your pelvis a little forward and then straightening up the spine. Place your hands in Chin Mudra, which is to form a loop with your index and thumb, and place the back of your hand on the knees. Your elbow should be hanging down below the shoulders so there is no tension. Now slowly turn your attention to your breathing. Feel the energy all the way down, reaching down. So when you practice this kind of turning inside, what you have to do is try to stop yourself from thinking. Okay, just observe the breathing and hear the sound of the breath. So this way you are training your mind to focus. So you have to take every opportunity to practice this mindfulness. And slowly let's come out of that meditative state and work your fingers in and out a few times. Rotate your hands at the wrists. And in the other direction. Work your arms in and out, slowly, again being mindful of as much of the movement as possible. Come back to releasing your arms and work your shoulders a few times. And in the other direction. Okay, back to neutral. Look over your left shoulder and your right. Okay, come back to neutral. Rotate your head. And let's rotate the head in the other direction. Come back to neutral. Okay. And let's get into seated mountain. Again, make sure your pelvis is tilted a bit forward, and then you want to straighten up the spine. Lock your arms at the elbows. Point your index fingers to the ceiling and interlocking the other fingers. Turn your attention to your breathing now. And slowly release. Okay, just think about it for a simple, short moment. This seated mountain does a lot of things actually. Okay, first of all, you're seated down in an easy posture. You're utilizing your knee joints. Okay, your pelvis is in action. Okay, your shoulders are in action, your elbow joints are in. Pretty much a lot of the upper body is engaged. Okay, and this simple act of engagement keeps those parts in good health. Okay, but we got to do this often on a regular basis, right? So let's go ahead and try the twist. You're going to turn to your right and back. Place the left hand on the outside of the right knee. Make sure both your sit bones are in good contact with the mat. Keeping your back up and straight. Turning, looking over your right shoulder. And now slow, easy breathing. And come back to neutral. Again, along the spine there are like hundreds of very tiny muscles which bind the body to the spine, and those muscles need to stay healthy, and you can do that by opening up the space, creating space, good breathing, good circulation around that area. Otherwise those parts tend to get stiff and they tend to break, right? So let's now try the twist on the left side. So the more often you do yoga, the better actually. Come back to neutral. All right. So again, you don't have to practice each posture just once. If you like a posture, you should do it more than once. That's perfectly fine. Now let's go ahead and bring both the feet together in front. Hold the toes, pull them up. Inhale, raise the knees up, down as you exhale. Try this a few times. And now let's release the knees as you keep pulling the toes up gently. And this is only to help you sit up straight. Try to keep pressing the knees down into the mat. And now smooth and deep breathing. And now slowly let's release, and you want to bend forward. Just go as long as you feel no pain, and you should be totally comfortable. Okay, just go to the point and stop where you need to, and then hold it there. With each exhalation, let go of your trunk. Come back up to neutral. Right? Now let's get into Vajrasana. Which is the diamond posture. Slowly settling down. Now, first into Balasana. So keep some space between the knees and slowly bending forward, forehead on the mat. Otherwise, you can rest your forehead on your hands, forming fists one above the other. Take your hands to the back, let go of your shoulders. Think of nothing. And now let's bring the arms up front, get a good stretch, hold and breathe. Now bringing yourself up into table position. Okay, knees below the hips and hands below the shoulders. Work your spine a few times, inhaling tailbone up and head up, arching the back towards the spine, towards the mat. Exhaling, pushing the spine up into the ceiling. Try this a few more times. Come back to neutral. Okay. Let's work the lower back a bit more. So inhale, you want to raise your leg up. So this is not parallel to the mat. Okay. So this is going to be much higher. So you're engaging your lower back, head up. Exhale, knee and the head together. And try this again a few more times. Come back to neutral and try it with the other leg. And back momentarily to Vajrasana. Hands in front, and you want to get into forward plank. Hips somewhere between the shoulders and the heels. Try to get as much of an incline as possible. And from here into downward dog. Again, releasing pressure of your arms into Vajrasana or any posture with your back straight and arms free. Now let's transition into the pigeon. So go ahead and sit on your right side. And take your left leg to the back, sitting up straight. Smooth, slow and deep breathing. And now let's switch sides, and you want to sit on the left side. As you sit, you can keep the heel away from the body. That'll make it a little easier on the knees. But again, if you are in any pain, you should never do this. You should never do any posture which causes you pain. So the key is to find that balance, where you want to stop, how far you want to take, so that the body keeps benefiting from that extra activity. Alright, now bring both your feet forward. Get down to the mat. Legs bent at the knees. Start with pulling your left knee into your chest as you stretch the right leg out. Keep both your feet pointing up to the ceiling. Release the left leg out and pull the right knee into your chest. Hold and breathe. You have to apply a healthy amount of pressure on your lower abdomen. Your left leg, which is stretching out on the mat, try to keep it active. And release. Okay, bring both your feet on the mat and drop each knee to its side into Supta Baddha Konasana. Letting go of your lower back. Gently press the legs down into the mat. So you have to, this is more about opening the hips and the lower abdomen. So as you breathe, feel the energy reaching down. So as you breathe, pay more attention to your breathing and let that energy fill slowly your trunk. Notice all the movement across the trunk, and if for a reason, let's say, your lungs are not engaging, make it a point to engage the lungs and the top of your lungs as well. And slowly bring both the knees back up. Okay. Keep your feet about hip width apart and arms on the mat, and gently lifting the hips up into the bridge. As you breathe, You want to engage your lungs more than your abdomen. Slowly releasing the hips down, pull both your knees into your chest, lifting the head up, and gently rock on the small of your back. And now stretch your legs and see if you can get into a boat. You can use your hands to balance yourself. And if you can also raise the arms up, extending it. And release. Okay. Now let's get into the squat. Start with sitting on the toes first and slowly lowering the heels down. You want to lengthen your back, straighten your back. Use your elbows to push the knees out from the inside. Hands in prayer position. Place your hands on the mat and gently pull yourself up into a standing prayer position. Next, let's move on to Rukshasana. Stand on your right and fold your left. Place it on the right, either below the knee or above the knee. Eyes on the ground, hands in prayer position if you can, or use a wall or chair for support. And release. Okay, shake your leg. And now let's try with the other leg. Okay. Release. Shake your leg. Try the chair. Keep your knees tucked in behind the toes, lengthening your spine and arms. And release. Okay. Let's get into mountain next. As you hold the mountain, think of a challenge you're facing or you're taking on. Make a resolution that you can. You are as strong as a mountain. And slowly release. Okay, come back to prayer position. Today we are going to end our session a little early. Hope there was good amount of stretching. Hope you keep practicing.